we can go into Star Wars, which we won't take too long on, I don't think, because all they did
I don't
was.
think you're too current on Star Wars, right? Have you seen Ahsoka?
I have. I actually have.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually have. Why did I
Ah,
choose to watch that one of all things? Not that it's bad, because you know what I haven't watched? I haven't watched Andor Season 2, which is, like, apparently the best Star Wars thing ever.
I haven't watched any Andor.
Oh!
You
Dude,
can blame
it's
Gianna for that.
it's really good. But to talk about what they did at D23, they just brought out Ryan Gosling for Starfighter. They didn't really say anything about that. We've already kind of said our thoughts on that, so I don't really know if there's much to say on it.
Yeah, they showed a logo that looks a little goofy, but he's also kind of a little
What did they
cool,
say his
maybe.
name was? His name is like
Cade Alberon.
Kate Alp. Yeah, that's very Star Wars.
Yeah.
But to speak on Ahsoka, so what I say to people, uh, which is mostly just Star Wars fans of or friends of mine, um, is that like I only think that show is worth watching if you watch Rebels. Like,
Interesting.
and besides that, I don't think that show is that great or that interesting. What are your thoughts?
I liked it a lot more than I thought I would
I think it's
because
fine.
I think going into it, I'm not a huge Rebels fan. I think it's fine. I think it's generally a like pretty poor imitation of the magic that made Clone Wars good to me.
Yeah, I think it's okay at first, and then it gets pretty decent. Um,
Yeah, I agree. I think those last like 2 episodes were great for me. I
it's pretty mid in the last two episodes.
yeah,
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
I don't know. Some people don't like it, but like the very like unhinged, I guess, or derailed aspects of what Dave Filoni brings to the
Oh
lore,
yeah.
um, with like the to spoil Rebels and also Ahsoka season 1, like the door thing. What's it
Oh yeah,
called?
like we're who
The
cares?
door,
It's too-
the world between worlds,
yeah, that
and
thing where
then
basically you can travel
like
through
them
time and
going
go through
to
shit.
a whole different galaxy. Like I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Like when they were like first explaining the concept of like, because like him with the whales, I had never really thought about or cared about where they're going. But hearing like the concept of like, oh, it's a galaxy far, far away. This is another galaxy. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's interesting. That's like
Maybe, yeah.
literally a whole new world of realm of possibility, but like also contained to like the same kind of force.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
I will
Um,
say it's cool. They just have written themselves into a possible hole that if they don't deliver on what its potential could be, just what are you doing?
yeah, I agree. I also don't really love the whole kind of Disney Star Wars model of like prequels. There's only so much you can do with prequels. Like if you're trying to make this grand
Yeah.
grand uh kind of climax of Thrawn, there's only so much you can do to where it's it's a really hard balance to strike where you have to make it cool enough but not like too
Impactful to the
egregiously
world, yeah.
impactful. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's never mentioned ever again.
Yeah, never again, and probably won't be
Unless
ever
there's some
again.
brilliant writing to like retcon everything. Um
Somehow Thrawn.
but so for the people who don't care about Rebels, I the reason I don't think that show is that interesting is because the main plot of the season one is hinging on you knowing about like Ezra and just
Yeah.
like that side of what Star Wars has introduced. And I will say, Rebels wise, I think the characters it introduces are cool. I think Ahsoka, the development it does for Ahsoka as a character is cool, and that's maybe the only other reason that you like quote unquote should watch the show is that like Ahsoka is just an interesting aspect of the universe, like what she could
Wait, for
represent
Rebels or for Ahsoka?
for Ahsoka,
Or both?
or I
Okay.
guess both,
Yeah.
but like the fact that she's like not even a Jedi anymore and not necessarily
Yeah.
like she's basically her own thing and like what that can mean in the universe, that if that interests you at all. In terms of like the whole like training Sabine or whatever her name is, What's her name? Who cares?
Sabine. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't think that was that great. I don't know if the villains were that interesting. Um,
I like Balin Skull a lot. I think
I think he could be
his
cool
kind of
because he's tied
demeanor
to
and his
like,
character
yeah,
is pretty interesting. Like basically the Mace Windu of the
yeah,
dark side.
yeah. And isn't he
I
tied
like
to
a
also
lot.
like some old history of the Jedi or something? Um,
Um, I think well, people are like kind of theorizing because his name is Skull.
yeah.
And then it's like the whole thing with the Skull and Hati are I think Norse
Oh,
mythology. So they were like talking about how that parallels and like how it could lead to certain stuff. Um, which is cool because like reading up on that, you could definitely see the parallels, which
yeah.
is even cooler if they decide to go with that. Um,
We'll say then.
but I'm also not the biggest fan of Hati
Yeah.
or the witches or honestly Thrawn. I think they need to do a little more convincing for me in season 2 to make me like convinced that he's really the threat they say
Yeah,
he
to be honest,
is.
I was pretty unmoved by Thrawn in that first season. So yeah, all that to say, it was fine. You could watch it if you
Yeah.
really want to.
Yeah.
Season 2, again, hopefully it's better and, whatever it's setting up for what they're trying to do with this era of Star Wars, which is not necessarily a mess, but it's like at this point you kind of just need to end it and
Yeah,
move
I
on.
agree.
Um because yeah, I don't know. Star Wars is in a pretty weird spot, and I don't really want to spend time
It is.
saying
And
how to
everyone
fix it.
knows it is. And no one knows how to fix it.
But
What a
who knows?
mess.
Maybe Ryan Gosling is here to save the day.
But yeah, I think all that to say I am excited for this. I
Mhm.
mean, I love that we're getting more Hayden Christensen. He was a very welcome surprise in the first season. I love that we get Huyan with the 4 lightsabers, the 4 training sabers. I'm excited to see
Oh.
that. Um, and then like Rebels characters, like I said, I'm not super attached. I like Ezra. I liked Kanan, but other than that, I think
Zeb.
the Rebels is at his best with like dealing with the aging characters, like you said, like Ahsoka,
Ah, I see.
even Vader, Maul,
Yeah,
Obi
yeah,
Wan, all of those. Um,
that is true.
I'm not even like the biggest Zeb fan
Yeah.
in terms of like companions that are like alien species. I think he's pretty low,
But
or
funny
even
enough,
like
yeah,
companions in general.
yeah, fair enough. I thought he was okay in Mando.
Yeah,
But I was gonna say, funny enough, you mentioning all those, like that's what the show did best. Yeah, that's pretty much the problem with Star Wars is that like, yeah, anything with the characters from the movies is pretty good, but anything that they're trying to expand beyond that, it's a little touch and go, and more go than yeah. So good luck to y'all.
yeah.
We'll catch you on the next season, I guess. Sure.
I hope it's
Moving on.
good.
I do hope it's good. Moving on though. Let's get to Marvel, which is our last section of today. Let's see what we're at. We're at oh wow, we're already at an hour. Okay.
Ooh.
Sorry, y'all. Whatever.
I'm not.
Again, topics and timestamps in the description below. Skip around or be like,
Please skip around.
So, um, there were a bunch of stuff released related to Marvel. We'll first start off with some of the smaller things, and then we'll get to the big stuff that everybody has probably heard about. You watch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I haven't,
I
and
have
and
twice.
if you could explain, so is it basically Tom Holland before the movies?
Um, it's like it presented itself in a way that's like this is Tom Holland, but not really before the movies. It's more so like a whole different spin-off, like more
Okay,
true to the comics universe.
and is it
Like
canon
you
at all
get
to the movies?
no.
Oh, okay.
No. I think it was introduced as it would be canon, and then they just completely scrapped that.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, then that makes it a lot more interesting. So it's not like constrained to anything.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, I
I think
remember
it's
you
just
said you
really
liked it.
solid TV.
So if you had to, did they release a trailer for the second one?
I think they showed a trailer but
But they didn't
didn't
release
release
it.
it online. Or I think they just might have shown like stills and stuff.
But yeah,
Um
just give like a little brief spiel as to convince people to watch it, aka me also.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 1. It's got a lot of heart. I think Hudson Thames, voices him. He's the one who voices him in What If.
Okay.
So you've seen What If, right? Or
Yeah.
some of it. So if you like kind of the way he plays Spider-Man, I think you're gonna like this one. It's very funny. It is definitely like a little like younger humor and also like more classic comic humor where it's like a lot of um whatever the young version of dad jokes is called, where it's like definitely very campy and
Yeah.
corny but good fun. A lot of like random cameos of a lot of characters that you will recognize and equally as much that you probably won't. um and just general, I think, good understanding of Spider-Man comics and what makes Spider-Man and the world around him so interesting.
Okay. How's the anim? Do you like the animation? I know people complain about it. I think I like that
I
it's different.
didn't like the animation leading up to it, and then I watched it. I'm like, okay, this is cool. It's
Okay.
very like comic-y. It
Yeah.
has the Steve Ditko line or
Yeah.
dots, and all that. So I definitely grew to like it.
I
And
see.
like the certain things about it, like it doesn't, it's not super impressive to me, but there's certain like shading, especially with like a lot of the night scenes that are like, okay, I can see why they chose to go with this.
I see.
But
Well.
yeah, and also Coleman Domingo plays
Oh
Norman
yeah.
Osborn, and it's
Forgot about that.
awesome. I love it,
I
and he
say,
has
well,
waves.
that just makes it fun to look forward to. Then that like maybe they have a better idea of like how much more they can focus on the show now with what we talked about the last episode, um and yeah, make it even better than the first season. So
Yeah.
I don't know how like plot wise what happens in the first season and like what that means for upcoming seasons. So you'll have to tune in to watch out. Anyways, other show that Marvel's doing, which I honestly totally forgot about until they announced it, is the Vision show called VisionQuest. If you watched WandaVision in COVID
Yes.
6 years ago,
Yes.
which is insane if you think about it. Like you're
Yeah, it is
continuing a
crazy.
show from 6 years ago, and I know they said like it's the trilogy with Agatha, but like not even really because it's like okay, whatever.
Have you seen Agatha?
I haven't watched Agatha. Okay, never mind. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
talk.
Low
But
key.
okay.
I'm
Anyways, though.
excited for this.
Okay, we'll get to you then. But if you did watch WandaVision 6 years ago, if you remember, Wanda made her own vision, and that vision ends up dying because Wanda's creations all just like disappear. But this white vision was the dead carcass of the vision that we saw in the movies that the government basically reanimated, and he
Yep.
became back to life because Wanda did stuff on accident. So this show is about like him basically trying to like rediscover himself as like a living being and trying to like see like who he is as his like own new person relative to what the old vision was. So that aspect I think is like kind of interesting. I like the stylization of it. I like who they brought into this. James Spader as human Ultron,
Yes.
who's pretty great. um and if they do capture some of the WandaVision mystery and like where hopefully it actually leads to something, um, I'm here for it. I'll watch it. But I guess you have more to say in terms of excitement and how it possibly relates to Agatha or whatever. Um, Go ahead, buddy.
Um I'm so excited. I
Okay.
really love Age of Ultron. I've really come to love WandaVision and Agatha all along. I think WandaVision, like for me, I was definitely one of the people where like you were writing the hype and yeah, it was really good, and then but everyone thought it was gonna be like some big reveal or something. So they were kind of sour on the ending.
Yeah.
And then also like leading into Multiverse of Madness, which undid everything good that the series did, was disheartening. But I've gone back and watched WandaVision maybe 2 full times, definitely once since then. And I think it's just really solid.
Yeah.
And like Agatha all along, I won't say too much on it, but I was very pleasantly surprised by it. I think you'll like it a lot. And also
Okay.
I've been trying to get Jonathan to watch it because he'll definitely like it a lot.
Interesting.
But it kind of, as much as it can, it disregards the character aspects of Wanda in Multiverse of Madness and focuses on WandaVision.
Okay.
And it's really cool to see. And I don't know how much more I can say
You can
without
stop there. Yeah,
spoiling it.
that's fine.
So I'll stop
But
there. But it's
that
great.
makes me interested.
And it definitely leads into VisionQuest. At least the way that they're kind of presenting it. Did you watch the trailer for VisionQuest?
I did.
So I'm curious to think of what you think of it. Like in terms of like the overarching story.
I don't know. That's
Like,
what like pretty much what I said is all I can really say. That like there's just some mystery tied to like what he's gonna discover about himself and
how do you feel about like the overall premise though of like rediscovery? Like this,
I don't know
I
what
know a
that
lot of
means.
people were clowning when it came out, the whole ship of Theseus
Oh,
thing,
that
because
shit.
they were like, oh, he didn't fight, he just talked for a while and then he dipped. But I
Like
thought it was pretty
how they
interesting.
philosophy battled.
Yeah, they philosophy battle
I mean,
to keep the
like,
budget low.
yeah, that's yeah. I mean, I personally am like, yeah, I don't need to see like a big like laser fight and two
Yeah,
robots going ham. Like, if there's good writing and like good character exploration, because like to me, like if you're just a fan of the characters, like that should be enough for you, type of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. And I know there's sons in it. Speed. Uh,
Tommy Shepard.
yeah. With an accent.
Yeah,
So that's also a cool little touch. There's some witch stuff going on that we see in it. Don't really know what that's gonna entail. I
hmm
honestly have no clue what this show is gonna be. So, um, I not like Paul Bettany, so I just hope it's well written and fun
yeah.
and not a waste of
I
time.
love Paul
That's
Bettany.
all I need.
Love
Just
James
not a waste of
Spader.
time. So is this probably the last live action? Maybe, do you think? Or
I don't know.
because after
I really hope not. I do think that's a very big possibility. I think
yeah
they're gonna completely axe live action shows and just say like, okay, maybe special
yeah
presentations, maybe like mini series I can
yeah
see. Like if they do like 3 50-minute episodes
yeah
instead of like 8 35 to 40-minute episodes. But
yeah because
I I do think so.
I was like, they're probably just willing to finish this one because it closes off the trilogy, and then what's it called? Um, it had been in development for so long, they were just like, yeah, might as
Yeah, it's
well.
like mostly done.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I would agree that it should just be probably miniseries, and if a character is like well liked enough, then you could lead it to something bigger. Versus like what they were trying to do with like all these separate stories of just like, is this worth tuning into or not? And how much are they tying this into? How much are they not? And it just didn't really work out.
Yeah. I
But
think
we,
also
yeah. What's up?
Marvel television in general, in terms of like the public kind of general perception and also the way the studio sees it, I think it's uh overhated.
Yeah,
I think in general, like the shows weren't bad, but it was in a time in which the average was brought down because the movies were some garbage
yeah,
and also the shows were maybe lackluster to some. I like most of the shows, but I
yeah,
think in that era when they're developing 6 uh projects a week a year, and people see like shows that aren't as important to the franchise as
yeah,
like Avengers movies, and also um movies that are supposed to be more important that are worse than the shows. I think it sours the whole kind
yeah.
of
Because
Marvel television aspect.
being someone who was a fan of it, I was like, yeah, why not? If I'm a big fan, I just want more content and get to explore
Yeah,
characters
for real.
in like a different kind of way than movies do. But I think
Yeah.
it's because that they were pretty like, well, for example, I like WandaVision, I like Loki, I like Hawkeye. I
Yep.
don't like She-Hulk, and I heard Secret Invasion's terrible. I don't think
Secret
I really,
Invasion's booty.
yeah, I don't really think I like Miss Marvel too much. Um,
I like Miss Marvel. What
I
about
think there's like some heart in it at first, and then it kind of just meanders out. But
Falcon
all
and Winter
this,
Soldier?
uh, that one I thought was just also okay. So that's why I
Yeah.
think if they had hit the mark more consistently on them, it would just be a lot less like sour. But I think you're right though that the sour is exacerbated by the fact that the movies also were not good.
Yeah.
Um, but besides the point, speaking of movies that aren't good, Doomsday. uh, we'll see.
Wow,
So
bold.
I told Osiris like, oh yeah, I watched some trailers before we did this, and one of them I have a pretty big opinion on, and it's this movie. I thought the trailer was absolutely terrible.
Interesting. The D23 trailer that they just
Yeah,
dropped?
I did not like it at
Yeah,
all. This is
I
the
don't think
first.
it's
Yeah, go
very
ahead.
excellent.
This is the first time where I'm like, oh, this movie actually might be pretty bad. Because I was like, I'm assuming they are for sure hiding things and they're not
Yeah.
trying to show a lot. But I was just like, they're really leaning on the fact that like people just like Doom as a character. And I don't think there's gonna be any build up to him being that compelling as Doom.
Yeah, I'm very scared about
So there's
that.
that aspect of the trailer where I was like, uh oh. The second aspect is that it just all looks pretty. I'm not the same as like a lot of people. Oh, they're in a green screen room. It's so lame looking. Blah blah blah. But like, all we saw was some pretty generic looking landscapes,
Yeah,
and
it's endgame levels
um,
of land.
so I was like, that doesn't look great either. Um, and then the characters that they were showing, I was like, who knows? Are the X Men even going to be in this that much? They might just be in this for a little bit and then fuck off somewhere. um, and then the whole like, oh, I knew Victor in school and he was always the smartest. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work for me either because like, how was that ever developed?
Yeah.
um, and like I think Pedro Pascal, he acts fine in the trailer. Like I'm like, okay, that scene looks cool. Um,
Yeah.
but the problem is with before, there just felt like a bigger chemistry and gravitas to all the actors working together and what they meant as the characters to that point. Versus this, I'm just gonna be like, yep, that's Pedro Pascal and that's Robert Downey Jr. and they're just gonna be shouting at each other. So yeah, that's why I was like, this does not look great. But your thoughts?
Um I agree. I think the color is abysmal. Which is weird because like the costume design I think is really on point.
Yeah,
I think there's certain shots that are very stylized that prove like okay, maybe they are capable of making a movie look good. Um but I think it will at the end of the day kind of just look like that end game
yeah,
final battle. And hopefully that's just one battle.
yeah.
Hopefully they have like a Infinity War Wakanda-esque setting. But
That
I'm
or
not
like
very
something in
hopeful
this.
on that.
I don't know, because like for example, the endgame battle, a lot of people have roasted on. It is just like a great
Yeah.
landscape, but like
Yeah, definitely.
I get why it was that, but also it related to like where they were, like where the story had led up to. At least there's like that benefit of the doubt type of thing. But this one, I'm just like, where even is this? Like
Yeah.
this is just Doom in some generic looking building in some generic looking landscape, and he's fighting everyone. Um, or who else, or who knows who's even in that scene. But again, It's a shame that they still don't really know what to do with Thor besides he's gonna do
Besides
some
make him.
he's gonna do some powerful move. Oh, he's not that
Oh.
strong compared to the bad guy. And it's like, bro, like we've done this like 3 or 4 times with him at this point. Um,
Yeah. I think this movie definitely hinges on how in the world they make it resonate with both like Marvel nerds and also like casual goers, which is a really hard balance
yeah,
to strike.
and they
And
might they might piss off all of them.
I think they definitely aren't considering the fact that they lucked out with Infinity War and Endgame, because I do think they did. Um, in terms of like satisfying the masses.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a lot harder than like Marcus and McFeely and the Russos are trying to make it seem, which is also like obviously they're not gonna say like, oh, this is impossible to make good. But um yeah, it's a little disheartening. But there's certain aspects like hearing Robert Downey Jr. as Doom and being like, that does not sound like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
at all. That's like, okay, maybe we're doing something. Or like seeing his little Dementor or Death Eater teleport flip with the cape and
Yeah.
comes out of
Yeah,
that.
I
I'm like,
think Doom
okay, he
looks
looks a
fine.
little menacing,
Um, but there's just
but
no
yeah,
build up to it. That's the problem.
not at all.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and at least there is like RDJ seems to be like having fun, like genuinely in a way
yeah,
that like so like maybe that like maybe it will be good in that sense that like if he's like actually like enjoying the project versus like you can tell when actors are kind of just like
yeah,
yeah go
definitely.
watch the movie. um but I think we'll need to see like more press leading up to it and see how all the actors are feeling towards this movie, because that's another aspect to this where I'm like I don't know. Do the actors even
Yeah,
think this is good? Because at least
it's
like with
hard to tell.
all the old Marvel movies, like the press was really fun. You could tell all the actors were having a good time, and like yeah, maybe a movie wasn't perfect, but like you know, at least everybody seems to be having a good time and having fun, and like it shows on screen too. Versus
Yeah,
this,
definitely.
there's like kind of nothing. Like who knows? Maybe Chris Hemsworth like doesn't think this is good at all.
Yeah,
Maybe Chris Evans is literally just there to just be there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think by
whatever.
virtue of like it being a bigger cast compared to like the first two Avengers movies, where like even people that don't like Age of Ultron, like they would watch the behind the scenes and be like, okay, they still like kind of believe in the vision, the actors,
Yeah.
um, and like I guess Joss Whedon too. Um, but I think kind of thinking about like Infinity War and Endgame, like Endgame, it doesn't really need to do that. Like since Infinity War stuck the landing, but like
Yeah.
in terms of Infinity War, I'm trying to think of how I felt leading into it, and I think it rode a lot on the novelty of like doing different pairings, especially in that
Hmm.
press tour where you have
Yeah.
like Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tom Holland and RDJ and
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo and Don Cheadle, like all these different mixes. I think allowed us as viewers to be more excited. We're like, now that we're at Doomsday, everyone is expecting that, and they're kind of not really doing that, which is interesting.
And I think it's also
Like,
because like there's no, again, maybe not no chemistry, but it's just like yeah, we haven't seen Pedro Pascal be with anybody else in this universe,
yeah,
so it's just like I mean, I guess I don't know.
like I really hope they do something like that where we see like Vanessa Kirby and Tino Corta
Yeah.
maybe,
Oh
or
yeah.
like anyone, any like pairings that are either unexpected or heavily sought after um in the press, because like right now it's like the Fantastic Four are doing Fantastic Four grouped press, and the X-Men are all talking about X-Men things and
Mm.
all of that, and like even like the Alan Cumming being like, yeah, I think I hit Pedro Pascal on the head. Like there's not really a kind of spark to that in the same way that there was for
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Oh boy. And at least like what I remember with those trailers, you just knew like where the conflict had led up to this point. You knew where certain characters were in the universe, like what their specific like setting was both in like as a character journey but also like where they were at the time of
Yeah.
the movie. This one is just like where the fuck is everybody? Like how are they even going to meet? Like what? So,
Yeah, and I do remember Feige, I think it was at Comic-Con, saying like people were like giving him crap for being
no
like,
build
"Oh,
up.
Thanos had all this build up and Doom doesn't." And he responded like in a very sarcastic way, being like, "Thanos was sitting on a chair. He got one post-credit
Yeah,
scene,
he's. You know what, Kevin
which
Feige, you
is
are a
true."
pathetic loser. We're always gonna go back to
I was going
that.
to say the opposite. I think there's some truth to what he's saying, but also like
Yeah,
I think it's not nothing, which like something like very little is a lot more than nothing.
yeah. Because to be honest, they at I forgot what movie it is in where it really became like, oh, Thanos is gonna grab the like he like. There's a post credit scene where he grabs the gauntlet. He's like, I'm gonna do it myself, type of thing.
Yeah,
And so that like really sets up.
I think
Okay, so
it's
that's where they're going
Age
for
of
with this.
Ultron.
Versus this, it's like we've not seen Doom at all except one post credit scene, and even that we don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah, or
And he's
even
just
like the
there.
idea of incursions was only really in, I mean, alluded to in Loki, but it's like he was supposed to have solved that, quote unquote. And then also in Multiverse of Madness, but that movie wasn't very good. Whereas you had the Power Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy, great
Yeah,
movie. You had Thor being like, I saw a vision of that thing in the center of
I
it.
mean the Mind Stone
And
is what two different movies itself, three different
yeah,
movies itself. Um, yeah, so
and then the Tesseract and all that. Yeah. It's it's a mess to say the least.
we'll see. We have 4 months to go, and we can only hope for the best. Uh, but to move on to a property within the Marvel universe that's hopefully onto bigger, better things. It's the new X-Men cast. We talked about it a little last week. I said some names. Those names were wrong.
Some of
um,
them were close.
no, no, no. Well, yeah, but for some characters, which we'll get to, well, I guess just one character. Um, but I wasn't the only one. There's other people who are all over Twitter who were wrong. But anyways, all this to say, they announced the cast. We already talked about Kit Connor as Cyclops last week. There's already Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. That was last week. Um, and we also talked about Samara Weaving last week already. So we're gonna skip over all of them. I wanted to first start off with. Okay, so they announced um a quote unquote new actress. She's done theater productions, but I think this will be her first studio
First
movie.
big screen,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And that's the
Feature
real
film.
thing that matters. Now I'm playing. Theater's great.
Awesome
Um,
Timmy Chalamet.
yeah. I don't want.
We
Okay,
also
whatever.
hate theater and ballet and
Yeah.
art.
Yep.
like,
Anyways,
like paintings.
Maya Boyd, from Broadway, from theater, she is Storm, and that's somebody I mentioned who I wanted to see in this movie. So there is a confirmed Storm in this. I think she looks great. I'm happy Storm's gonna be in this. Obviously, I don't know anything about her or what she's done and what she can do, but she seems to be a fun personality, and people are happy, which is all the more like good for a newcomer, and people aren't just like, oh, she sucks. She blah blah blah, and it just leads to the actors and just the momentum being sour, aka Captain Marvel. um but yeah, I don't really have any other things to say besides that because I don't really know her. Do you?
Nope.
What about
I'm
just
glad
Storm
that
being in this?
I was kind of back and forth with it because I'm not as a X-Men fan, not really. I've never been super interested in a young Storm. I think
Okay.
she's at her best when she's like the senior of the group
Yeah.
and like one of the leaders and like very strong already and very capable um and then going from there like getting to see kind of these chips in her armor
Hmm.
as someone who has like this gravitas. So I don't know. I think she's fine as like a younger character in the comics, but nothing too special for me.
I see. Well, again, we can only hope the best. Next, we have Christopher Abbott as Professor X, and that is somebody Osiris mentioned last week. Or yeah, we did right.
I think so. Yeah,
You have watched On the Count of Three, which he
I have.
starred and directed in, so you have definitely more of opinion on him
No,
as.
he didn't direct it. The
Oh,
other
he
guy
didn't.
did.
Oh, the other guy did.
No, Jared Carmichael.
Jared Carmichael. But yeah, you have more of an opinion on his possible performance as Professor X. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen On the Count of Three. Not at all like hopefully related to his character Professor X. But I do think On the Count of Three is a really interesting movie because it really hinges on these two characters, and it's a darker theme but also played like it's definitely a comedy.
Hmm.
So I think it really shows the range of Christopher Abbott. I've seen a little bit of Girls, obviously a comedy, and then he was in a horror movie called It Comes at Night,
Yeah.
that a lot of people like. It's an A24. I didn't like it. But that was more so like the story. I think him in that he holds a lot of weight, and he holds a lot of like because he's the dad in that, or he's a dad in that
Okay.
movie. He holds a lot of like responsibility, and he wields it in a way that's like very impactful for the movie, which is part of why I don't like it because it doesn't really do anything with it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this casting. Also, nice to see Professor X is American again, which
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with, but it's cool. When X-Men 97 came out, I'm like, oh, I forgot he's just speaking plain old
American.
immigrated English.
Yeah. And
So
I
that was
think
cool.
he'll look good in the bald. Some people are doing mock-ups, and
Yeah,
he's also shaved his head. He'll be fine. He does have like
I'm
a
excited.
similar-ish resemblance to some character art. Um, so
He's got the thick eyebrows
yeah, that's
like
what I was gonna
in
say.
X-Men 97.
So
Um,
I think again we can only hope for the best. I think he has some tough shoes to fill for both Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy, who I think do
oh, I
great.
agree, but
So good luck to him. Um,
I, I will say based off of On the Count of Three, because I watched It Comes at Night before that,
yeah,
so I was already a fan of him. I'd say because I think in terms of horror movies,
yeah,
he has a very elevated performance in that. Um, and it On the Count of Three, it's like a little goofier, and the emotional aspects I think really hit you um as a part of the performance just as much as like the story
yeah.
aspect. It kind of sucker punches you, like it's comedy, and like you expect it to be like emotional, yes, because of the subject matter, but nothing too heavy. And maybe it was just because we were watching it late at night. But it really hit me, and I think that movie's quite good, and I think he's really good in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, not that you're the metric of everything, but
I
off of
am.
that, off that
I'll claim that.
alone,
I'll take that weight.
off that alone, I'm sure this is a good casting, and I'm sure he can do a good job if he's given the right material. And I hope that's what all these people get. Um,
Yeah.
and I think something new for this Professor X, which we haven't been able to really see, because James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart kind of basically play the same type, where it's like they're trying their best to be the mutant lead, but they like kind of mess up, but they always have the best interest and like good heart at the end of the day, and they're little softy boys kinda. But
Yeah, a
this
little.
one could possibly be a little bit more stubborn, a little bit more hard headed, a little bit more on the line of like, I get it, you're fighting for your cause, but you're also doing some questionable things at the expense of people you care about, um,
Yeah.
which is a big part of Professor X. So
Yeah, I think
could be cool.
especially in terms of X-Men 97, uh like it was a bit jarring to see that in kind of the on TV or film, because in my mind, like I definitely had grown accustomed to the Patrick Stewart, like
Yeah.
more um hopeful, more optimistic,
Yeah.
a little bit more of a pushover.
Yeah.
Um but in X-Men 97 and the old series, which I rewatched before watching X-Men 97, you definitely get this like sterner, kind of more like teacher-esque, like
Yeah.
he's not necessarily like a cool teacher in a lot of the old
Mhm.
show and some of the new uh 97.
Yeah.
He's like definitely stern at times in like ways that it's like, ooh, I don't even know, like sure he's Professor X, but I don't know if I'd like him as a teacher.
Yeah, which maybe
um
might rub people the wrong way, and they might confuse that as to them just not liking him or the performance. But we'll have to see, obviously. But that's enough of that. Next we have the last two announcements, which I think are the not say the two biggest names. One of them for sure is, but in terms of social
I think
media,
that that's fair to say.
yeah, in terms of social media stirring, they're like the two biggest names. We'll first do Adam Driver, as Mr. Sinister. We are Adam Driver fans. I think Adam Driver is a great
Yes.
actor. I think he's a fun personality, and I'm glad he's in the Marvel Universe now. And I don't know much about Mr. Sinister as a character, but he hasn't been explored in any of the movies. They tried to do it like with both New Mutants and I think one of the X-Men, and it just never really took off.
New Mutants and I think X-Men
Yeah,
Origins
and it
Wolverine.
never really took off. So I'm glad this is who they're going
John
with.
Hamm, bro. Rest in peace.
I'm glad this
Rest in
is.
peace, John Hamm, Mr. Sinister.
Was that actually confirmed back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, tough. But yeah, I'm glad that this is the villain they're going with. I don't know much about him in the comics, but I know he's a compelling villain, and people like him as a villain. You can have more to say on this. So go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest Mr. Sinister fan in the in the comics and I guess show. Um I think his like in terms of his character, but I do think he's included in a lot of really great
I
stories.
see.
Like he's famous for like the whole Madeline Pryor thing and like Cable and um basically birthing Cable and all that. But I think Adam Driver, particularly in terms of this character, gets to have a lot of fun, which I'm looking forward to.
And I also think this won't be his only time playing him.
Yes,
I
definitely
think he'll
not.
be
I think if it
around.
is, then that's another tally on the wasted villain potential,
Yeah.
which Marvel does like to do, MCU does like to do. Hopefully, we get in VisionQuest, Ultron backdoors into another robot or
Yeah, maybe.
something. We get him in another couple years. But I do hope they keep him around, and it definitely seems like they're trying to.
Yeah, I think the way he was presented, the fact that it's him, it's a little different than, for example, like when they got Christian Bale to be in Thor 3 as the villain. Like
Yeah,
there's something
definitely.
about this casting where it feels like he'll be around for a little while. Um and like I said, we're fans of him. We think he's a good actor. I think he's a great actor actually. And yeah, I
Yeah,
think he'll
he's
do a good
awesome.
job. The other name though that has caused a stir is Indy Navarrete as Rogue. Now, if you're not familiar with that name, she was the star in Obsession earlier this year, which is a big movie. We did a
Yep.
review on it on the main podcast. If you want to check that out, I personally loved her performance in it. I know Osiris has some some qualms a little bit
No, I think
with that
she's
movie in
a
general.
great actress.
But she's clearly talented, and she's a young talent too. So we haven't really got to see her do much. I know she was also in Superman and Lois, and people also think she's pretty good in that.
Yeah, people
Um,
like it.
so, so in terms of talent, I think she's for sure got it, and I think she can do a good job with whatever she's given. Now comes the aspect of, is she a good rogue? I personally don't think I have enough stakes into this, and But I can see like why people are complaining. And I'll share more on that, but I'll defer to you since you do have quite an opinion on this.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be that guy that's like going based off if they look like the character.
Yeah.
Um, but and this is a problem with all the X-Men girls that they've cast. I think Sadie Sink is too short. I think Maya Boyd is too short. I think Samara Weaving is too short. I think Eden Navarrete is way too short.
Yeah, she's 5 foot.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. There's definitely like because I've also rewatched Obsession recently.
Oh, really? Why do you keep rewatching this movie you don't like?
Oh, I don't not like it.
That is false.
Ah. No, I do
All right,
like it. I hate the
we
glaze.
don't need to do this. We don't need to do this.
Ah. I gave it 3 stars. It's
All right,
good.
continue.
And I think reading the script made me appreciate Indy Neveretti's acting a lot more because I also read the script for Obsession.
You even read the script. Okay.
Yes, bro. I like to know
Okay.
that I'm right when I don't like things.
Oh, so you don't like it? All right, we're not
I
doing
think the
this.
strong parts of the script are strong in the performance, and the weak parts in the script you could see in the performance why it's weak. So I think that's a good tell as to like she's playing the part very well and also delivers on the strong parts, which not everyone can do, and heightens a lot of the worst parts in the script, which also not a lot of people can do. So I do think she's a great actress, and I really wish that they had her for some other character.
We can talk about that at the end.
But overall, I mean, I really hope she proves me wrong.
Yeah.
And I think there definitely is a possibility that she can.
So,
And
but to
I'm not-
continue as to why you have gripes besides the fact that she's short, elaborate.
Yeah, I think well, for one, I think it is stunt casting, which
You do.
could be
Yeah.
good, could be bad. Which Adam Driver also is stunt casting for
Yeah.
sure. But I think that has a more of a possibility to be good. I am just very pessimistic on like I feel like they probably casting at Marvel Studios wasn't thinking too in depth about it. They probably had a story and like certain characters that they wanted to fill and kind of just threw Indy Neverready a bone. Indy Neverready, I've only seen her in Obsession, which this might be unfair of me to say, but like the difference between the script and the actual like way she portrays herself, which is to say like the kind of part of her own self that she brings into the character of Nikki, I think is a very different type of like charming and I don't know, all the aspects of Rogue where she has like that southern charm and like a closed offedness that comes with trying to be stronger than you maybe should let yourself feel like you have to be. I don't know that I'd necessarily get that best from her.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you definitely know more, so fair enough to you feeling that way. I was gonna to say, in terms of the whole stunt casting and possible miscast, I will say one of the best things of the Marvel Universe is Sarah Haley Finn, which is the casting director that like does the casting for like everything, and she usually does a good job. Like she
better win an Oscar, bro. Now that there's casting Oscars,
she usually nails it. And to be honest, like I know people have their gripes with like certain people, like let's just say Brie Larson, but that's to me that more so comes from people being weird about her personality and and other things. And then sure, like maybe RDJ shouldn't be Doom, and I know people also had issues with like Pedro Pascal as Reed, but like I personally don't think there's ever been somebody that's like straight up just like wrong or like that this doesn't work or fit. at least nothing that comes to mind. So maybe I'm just saying this opinion with no basis. Um, so I'm just saying all this to at least give her benefit of the doubt that like, sure, yeah, maybe it is stunt casting because of the recent hype around Obsession and her as an actress, but I also think that there is enough like good heads behind the scenes that like that there's more to it than just that. Um, and like I said, I think she's a good actress. So after she got announced as Rogue, there were some people who like there's like some X-Men insider Twitter accounts. Who knows if they're like actually credible or not? But there were some people that were like that had basically said that she was meeting with Marvel as early as like early July for Rogue. Um, so yeah, maybe that was always the plan, and if that is the case, um, maybe that adds more credence that like maybe they just felt like that she was the right decision for whatever they want to go with. Now, in terms of whatever they want to go with, there is the also now the pushback to like the whole people being upset that like she's not maybe not tall enough, she doesn't capture the southern charm as well as like that version of Rogue. But there's other people who are like maybe she'll be good as like the goth version of Rogue from like X-Men Evolution if you've ever watched that.
Yeah, I
Um
have.
I
I
personally
think
haven't watched it, but I'd be curious to
I
see
think
your
that's
opinion.
fine, but I also think that's not what they're going for. Like
Yeah,
everything that Feige and Jake Schreier have said is like indicated that they're definitely going back to this like more kind of classic feel
yeah,
in the same way that they did for Fantastic Four. Um, and I don't think that's really what they're going for because X-Men Evolution is pretty awesome, but it is quite a divergence
okay,
from like the sort of the mainstays of the comic. Not thematically and not even necessarily like character traits, but in terms of like design and how their traits are expressed and stuff
I
like
see.
that.
Yeah, I was
Um,
just gonna get your opinion on that because I was like starting to see some art and I was like, okay, that fits a lot better. But I also don't know if that's probably what they're gonna do because I also agree that like I'm pretty sure they are going for the the more southern, stronger Rogue. But all this to say, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I want to give the casting team the benefit of the doubt, and people, I get it. It's more like the outrage is definitely a minority. It's definitely people who are like just very defensive over the people that they love growing up and people who they've had images or their own personal images in their brain for however long. Um,
yeah,
there is some validity to like complaints like what you have, but let's just see how it goes first. Let's see, let's give her a movie, and let's at least see a trailer. Let's at least see some costuming and not worry about you know basically just not start hating on it too early because you never know.
yeah.
Um,
I think also a lot of the hate is definitely that more misogynistic,
yeah,
misdirected hate, which also pisses me off because that lumps me in with those guys, and I'm not really trying to be like that.
yeah. I mean, there's also the flip side where the people who are like really praising it are just like the gooners, and
Yeah,
I sent you that tweet that like some of the stuff about like the casting, it's just like, I mean, you could be happy that certain people are gonna get cast, but like let's not turn it into something weird. Like let's not just be like, oh, they're all hot, let's go. That,
yeah,
that one tweet I sent you is actually so funny. I don't want to say it on here because I
yeah,
don't want to say those words in my mouth. But it is just like a hilarious response to people who are just like happy they're all pretty or whatever. Um,
yeah.
anyways, you were gonna mention that maybe she would be better as Shadowcat, aka Kitty Pride, and I'd be curious to see your why because Mia immediately when I told her this news was also like I also see her more as a shadow. She just said that like
Mm.
herself, so I'm curious because I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, you've started the animated series, right? The
I
old
don't think I
one.
got to Kitty though.
Yeah, but she's not in it. But I'm
Oh,
saying she kind of instead of Jubilee is like that more starry eyed.
mm-hmm.
Um, don't really know what to do with my powers. Don't really like my powers, and also my parents don't really like
I
it.
see.
But they don't hate me. They definitely do love me, and more like that childlike wonder, kind of like when I think of that scene where she's like asking if Bear has money to give to that homeless guy. Like that's kind of the
Okay.
more hopeful outlook and like the way she interacts with the world. Um, that's definitely more reminiscent of what I saw from Indy Never Ready in
Okay.
Obsession.
So, yeah, maybe she would have been better as that, but who knows? Maybe the casting directors just have some vision that we'll see, But to speak on other mutants, now that we have this list so far, is there anybody else? Because I don't think this is the final team or the final cast, and I'm still very like not what's the word? I'm still very curious to see like what Emma Frost like is gonna be in this movie.
Dude, I have been thinking about that a lot.
We could do this another
What
time.
I'm
Okay, go
hoping
ahead. We'll do
for.
it now.
Oh my bad. I hope she's not sympathetic towards the X-Men like she has been in recent
Yeah.
comics and stuff. I hope she's like, because in the comics I'm reading right now, she's at her Massachusetts Academy, which she sees that Charles Xavier starts taking on these new mutants as students and not X-Men, and she's like, wait, I could do that, but a little more nefarious. So she
Okay.
has her own group called the Hellions,
Mhm.
and they're basically one-to-one copies of the New Mutants. But she has like her own rival school, and she's like kind of trying to poach the New Mutants for her school, which is like a little more hardcore. Like they have like a stricter regimen and stuff like that. I hope it's
Interesting.
something like that where she's like an opposing kind of uprising telepath that is trying to maybe capture the hearts of these young mutants in something that's more actively antagonistic to humans. Um, but we'll see.
Yeah,
And
we
like
will
maybe
see.
that aligns her more with Mr. Sinister, who like is definitely
Okay.
in the line that like mutants are made to be superior.
Hmm. Yeah, this just ties into like I'm still curious as to how they're introducing mutants into this world and
Yeah.
like what the origin of everything will be and how it all comes together. We don't have to go into that right now, but besides what I besides what we were just talking about now, what I was talking about is there anybody else who you think should be in this movie and you want to see character wise, not actor wise? Um
I think we need at least a couple low level goons for them to fight. Either like, why are you laughing?
You're good.
uh um like henchmen. I
Like
don't
a
want them to set up
toad.
like a brotherhood. Yeah, like a toad. Or like Sinister has his like weird mutants that he makes, or like um just mutants you'd never heard of, like the frog guy, or like the guy who has like he's really strong, he has long eyelashes and he's bald. Um,
Yes,
just stupid
what?
stuff like that.
They should bring back that useless 1 inch spike guy from X-Men 3, whose only
1 inch
power is that
spike guy.
he grows spikes, which is like the one of the most
Oh
useless
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. I love stupid mutants like that just get beat all the time.
uh,
Even like if they have like Avalanche and or Pyro or
I
Blob
see.
working for Mr. Sinister,
Okay.
I think they are gonna bring in a couple of those. I do think they're gonna cast a Magneto for this,
Yeah.
even if it is a small part slash cameo. Um,
Any names you're liking?
Not really. I've seen people saying like a lot of older people, which may be the case, but I can see them going younger. I
Yeah.
don't know. Magneto's in a weird spot, as a lot of people have been saying, because like
How does he tie back
as
all the way
time
to
goes
the World Two?
on,
Yeah, World War Two.
you're getting further away from World War
Yeah.
II. Um,
I like Lee
so it
Pace as
is
an actor,
interesting to
and that
see.
name's been thrown out.
Lee Pace would be cool. I do think that they are going to go with a Jewish actor, and I think they
Probably.
should.
Yeah.
And Um, I know I saw, the channel New Rockstars.
Yeah.
Their main guy Eric Voss, because David Krumholtz tweeted that he's like
Oh,
light retiring from acting, and he's like, get David Krumholtz as Magneto. I think that would be interesting. People have said like Adrian Brody.
I'm
There's
not
another
really
one that
liking
I've
either of
seen
these.
floating around that I can't think of. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we'll
do
see.
think they are going to introduce him though. And then obviously there's been talks or rumblings of talks about Beast. I do think they're going to add him. And I think we are going to get one more that is a more supporting character, either a Nightcrawler or Colossus or
Iceman, let's get an
something
Iceman
along
in
those
there.
lines. Forge, Iceman,
Do you think they'll do?
Bishop.
Do you think they'll do Angel to fill out the original?
Um, I kind of don't. I agree with what you were saying. Where like they
We
have
already
two
have the
Falcons
Falcon.
right now. They don't really
Yeah,
necessarily need Angel. But maybe I don't know,
who
cause like
knows? Maybe the Falcons will both die.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe I think after Doomsday we'll get a good
yeah,
sense of who they're trying to bring back.
yeah. We'll see. They do need another guy
I
in the
would love
team.
a young Nightcrawler.
They do need
I
another guy in
was
the team because it's just Cyclops and women and
and
Professor X.
his harem. It's Cyclops who has a love interest with two of them, and then he's kind of at odds with Storm, and then Rogue is kind of just there. I do think they need a Rogue
Counter or yeah,
love interest,
yeah.
or even like counterpart. And I do think Iceman is the better choice between him and Gambit, which are like the two main
That's
ones
been a
for her.
thing. Iceman. Oh wait, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
duh,
yeah.
from the original trilogy and stuff. Um, okay, yeah. I hope Iceman. Um, or I mean, Gambit would be cool too, but I think it'd be weird if they did the Channing Tatum and immediately jumped to somebody else. um, so yeah, that's a bunch of names you listed, and a bunch of them I don't know, but whoever it is, it'll probably be cool. And I hope it's Iceman. Iceman and Beast. That's
I
probably who.
hope
That's probably
I
who I have left.
I want Nightcrawler. That's my
Oh
guy.
yeah, and Nightcrawler's great. Um,
Oh, he's so good in X-Men 97, bro.
anything else in your life,
So good.
or is that the main
Um,
one you wanted to talk about?
I've been reading more comics.
Okay.
So like buying that comic that I got when we were at that bookstore. It is right there. That I don't know if I explained it to you, but like I'm following like a reading guide
Yeah.
for all of X-Men, and that is the start of the next era in my reading guide.
Mm,
And so I kind of sped run that last. I was like
nice.
12 issues away from reaching that comic. So now I'm on that comic. I've read like half of it.
Maybe when we get to maybe I'll follow in your footsteps and start reading some comics when we get to some newer parts of the Marvel universe after it resets.
Dude, I've got some Rex.
All right. For me, Ted Lasso is back. And I love
Oh
Ted Lasso.
yeah.
So I didn't get to watch the first episode yet, so technically this is a cheat of an answer, but I'm going to. And my sister and her husband watched it, and they loved it. So that's good to hear. That like it's just still good and captures what it used to be. And coinciding with that, soccer is also back. And I'm a big soccer guy, so I'm looking forward to this new season because it barely felt like there was even any time off because we had the World Cup. So now I'm back into watching something I love. So that's it for me. Anything else you want to
Fire.
say?
I think that's it. Oh, also just listening more and more music.
Mm.
The Howdy album was great. The Phoebe Bridgers album was great. The Charlie Puth
What's the Howdy
album was
album?
fun. Howdy, it's a band I like. It's Hovvdy. Um, yeah, that's just awesome. I think I might have shown you a song or two by them.
Maybe.
Um, but they're cool.
All
They're
right.
cool, and they dropped a cool album.
I might check that out then. Alrighty, I think that's it for us, everyone. Are you good?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, I have a million more things to say. But we can cut it off there.
We're at 2 hours.
I could talk for at least.
Let's just say one of them. What is one thing that you want to say?